Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be getting into the Bible, and I'm going to be reading out of the book of Revelation. And I'm going to be talking about end time prophecy. And I'm going to be talking about how the Antichrist sets up his kingdom. And I'm going to be talking about how these nations are going to be under him, and they're going to be working in unity with the Antichrist to implement his evil, ungodly beast system. And I'm going to be getting into the Word of God, and I'm going to be reading out of the book of Revelation and talking a little bit more about not only the tribulation period, but how what we're seeing right now, pertains to end time prophecy, because I believe we are on the precipice of entering into the tribulation period. I believe we're in the birth pains, and we are right close to seeing all of this unfold right before our eyes. So without further ado, I'm going to be jumping right into the book of Revelation chapter 17. And I believe that God has a word for you today. So before I jump in the Word of God and I share this devotional with you, I want to ask you to smash that subscribe button right now. And if you could also hit that like button, I would appreciate it. So Revelation 17. And I'm going to start with verse number 12. What does it say? And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Verse 13. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and are chosen and faithful. So, right here, the Antichrist is setting up his kingdom. He's got 10 horns, which is symbolic for 10 kings, which is 10 kingdoms, 10 countries. Now, the beast was working in concert with Babylon. Now, Babylon is symbolic for an ungodly, wicked place, country, religious system. And some people believe it could be somewhere in the Middle East. I believe personally, the way it's broken down, that it is, I believe it's the United States of America, but Babylon is evil, and they're going to be working with the Antichrist. But now we see these 10 kingdoms. He's literally called the little horn in Daniel chapter 7. As you read verses 24, 25, Daniel chapter 7 talks about this little horn, which is the Antichrist, ruling over 10 nations. Now, who are these 10 nations? I'm going to get right into it. And how this pertains to what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the European Union all working in concert together. Many countries are joining an alliance right now. And you know what their ambition is? One is to bring an evil, one world government system. But secondly, they're going to turn on Israel, and there's going to be great persecution, not only on Israel, but on the churches of God during the end times. And the Antichrist is going to do evil, and he's going to have them do his bidding. So what does it say? The 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, 10 nations, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So the beast is going to give power to these 10 nations to rule underneath him. He's going to have control over these 10 nations. Now, who are these 10 nations? I believe, the European Union, the revived Roman Empire. It's going to be out of Europe, I believe. These countries are going to come together, and the Antichrist is going to rule over these nations, and they're going to have great power, and he's going to have great authority during that time. And then in verse 13 it says, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So they're going to let the beast rule and reign over them. They're just going to give their power to them, these 10 nations. They're going to be in one mind, it says. They're going to be a unified government. These 10 nations are going to rule the world. Everyone's going to be under this system. And they're going to have power to be able to implement the mark of the beast. People are going to have to take it, not just in, one country, but all throughout the world. And these 10 nations are going to be pushing this during this time. They're going to be helping the Antichrist, and they're going to be pushing to set up what he's going to set up during that time. The Antichrist is going to demand worship. He's going to go in the temple. And I believe that third temple is going to be built real soon. This peace treaty is being talked about as we speak. And, a lot of things happen. And the Antichrist, he's going to confirm it. Whoever confirms that peace treaty is the Antichrist, as I've been saying over and over again. And we know that temple, it has to be built because he has to go into the temple. So they're planning on it right now. And it's already in the works. I believe that third temple is going to go up. I believe the peace treaty is coming. These are all signs. And once that's signed, once it's confirmed, there's 7 years left. That's it, 7 years left. And then that's going to be the end. And Jesus is going to come back at his second coming. But right here, they're going to be in unity with the Antichrist. And the Antichrist is going to give his guidance and direction to these 10 nations. Now look at verse number 14. What does it say? It says, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings." So he's going to make war. The Antichrist, the beast, the false prophet, these 10 nations, they're all going to align together, and they're going to bring the world together. They're going to war against the Lamb. So how's that going to happen? Well, at first, he says he's going to make war with the saints. So you say saints are going to be on the earth during the tribulation period? Well, Revelation chapter 13, it says that he makes war with the saints. I'm going to read this to you. He's going to attack, the Lamb and his people, because the enemy is trying to destroy and thwart God's work. Revelation 13:7 says, "And it was given unto him," the Antichrist, "to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given over him of all kindreds, tongues, and nations." So he's going to make war with the saints. He's going to have power over all nations. The 10 nations are going to be, I believe, the revived Roman Empire, the European Union. They're all working together right now. They're setting it up. Peace is being discussed. When you hear peace and safety, that's when you're going to see sudden destruction. And the Antichrist is going to break that peace treaty, and he's going to turn on Israel and on God's people. So he's going to make war with the Lamb. He's going to go against God's people. He's going to go against Israel. They're going to flee into the mountains. Those who are in Judea, they're going to have to flee into the mountains. It's the abomination of desolation. He's going to break that peace treaty. And he's going to make war with the Lamb, and they shall overcome them. And the Lamb shall overcome them. So God's going to overcome them. He's going to make war, and then guess who's coming? During the battle of Armageddon. That's the last battle at the end. The Lamb is going to come. And he's going to come, and he's going to destroy everything that's on the earth. Those who are on the earth that are Christians, they're going to be caught up in the clouds, and they're going to meet the Lord in the air, according to Matthew chapter 24, verses 29 through 31. He's going to, rapture them. They're going to be caught up in the clouds. It says from the four corners of the earth. They're going to be caught up during the second coming. He's coming down, and he's going to cast the devil in the bottomless pit for 1,000 years. And the beast and the false prophet, the Antichrist, they're going to be thrown in the lake of fire. That's it. And those who took the mark of the beast are going to be doomed to hell at that point. Anyone with the mark of the beast, they're going to be sent to judgment right there. And God's coming down on the earth, and he's going to rule for 1,000 years during the millennial reign. So it says, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them." How stupid you got to be to try to fight against God. You're not going to win that battle. God's the creator of everything. All he has to do is speak, and he decimates everything, any enemy. It says, the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords, and he's the King of kings. And it says, "And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful." We are the called. We're going to be with him. When we get caught up in the clouds during that time, and all the saints that are in heaven with him, he's going to be riding on that white horse. He's going to be coming down with his saints, and he's going to destroy all the wickedness on the earth. The 10 nations that are going to come up, they're going to be destroyed. The beast system is going to end, and God's going to implement his system for 1,000 years. That's called the millennial reign. And Satan will be bound for 1,000 years in the bottomless pit where he belongs. And then eventually he's going to be in hell with the beast, false prophet, Antichrist for all eternity. But we will be spending eternity with Jesus Christ. We win because we have God on us, on our side. And if he's for us, who can be against us? If this devotion blessed you, I ask you to put a comment below, and I'll have another video up for you soon. And always, thank you for watching.